Always exciting when you've scored maybe one of the best days of the year condition-wise, and you make this highlight reel. Coming in at number 5, Ethan Ewing with a huge heat win, taking out one of the best at Jeffreys Bay, Strider.
Yeah, you know what? This guy could be the best surfer at J-Bay right now in my mind. The way that he rides these waves, I feel like we haven't seen it out of him per se today on the day, but you know what? His rhythm and his style out here is second to none. The way that his pendulum is thrown around, his speed through turns, the read on the wall, and the way that he attacks is beautiful. And I feel like, you know, Ethan is one of those guys that will go down in history as one of the best ever out here at J-Bay.
Ethan Ewing, 8.4, 7.83. Jordy Smith's high mark is 7.7. But Ewing enjoying the pit, looking to back up his title at J-Bay. He had so many great words of respect for Jordy Smith, knowing what he's done out here for so many years.
So true. I mean, and you think about it, you come up against the guy, one of the best ever at J-Bay. You know, you would say that you have to put a performance together, and Ethan did that. Just looked a little bit more quick through the transitions in the moves, but look how relaxed Jordy was surfing so well, you know, and as expected at J-Bay.
Yeah, as we remember, Jordy came off a heater against Kaio where he had a 9 and an 8.5, so he was firing in all cylinders into the matchup with Ethan Ewing. There are some positive moments from Jordy, but he still sits outside the top 10 as he'll refocus on Tahiti. And like you mentioned, Waz, it just adds to the early reputation of Ethan Ewing. Even though he's just fresh off his first win last year, he's looking really solid to go back-to-back. Jordy Smith exiting out, but he'll go right to his new home right here on the point at J-Bay. As we move on to number 4, Carissa Moore, broken board, but she still rebounded to a great win over Defay.
And it's so cool because, you know, she did have that moment where she had the falter, gets the broken board, and has to do the run. I think, I mean, as I recall, she had to do that last year.
It was like deja vu.
Right? I mean, she had to do it again, and Luke was there to run with her and give her the pep talk, and sure enough, the performance came right after that. And you got to love that from champions. So resilient and I mean, think about the length of the ride, you're surfing all the way through, and then realizing your board's broken and have to run all the way back up to the key hole. And all of that moment, being able to somehow perform once you get back in the water. So that is all that extra training and the resiliency in her mind, the strength that she's able to execute once again at J-Bay and put on a solid performance. What, an 8.5 and a 7.7? So pretty impressive.
Well done to Carissa Moore in the elimination round. Rarely see her there. She hasn't lost in that round since 2017 as she's looking sharp into the quarterfinals. Number 3, we expected this guy in the post show, Connor O'Leary with the buzzer beater to beat John.
Hack. I mean, just the straight up power moves that he was throwing down out there where you could watch all day long. And Connor's always been a favorite to watch on the backhand and for me, but today he really stepped up his game. And I mean, that first turn on this wave was so vertical and straight up and powerful. It was just incredible to watch. So, you know what, Connor, thank you for the display today on the backhand. I really enjoyed it.
Same.
Yeah, he's having a blast. You could tell he's stronger than ever. He's gone through a lot in his career, on tour, off tour, but more consistency, Pete, like you've been mentioning, making more quarters than he's had in previous seasons.
This is a 4th in a row right now.
He's on fire making finals day. And she's going to have a ton of confidence knowing that he maybe had more to give on his final wave, but the judges are still appreciating how hard he's unloading on these waves.
It's so true. I mean, and this was an 8.67. He had the 9.57 earlier, but this was the 8.67. And that first turn on the outside section, so strong. And look at the finish, too. Watch what this does on the bricks. It's something where he makes it look so easy, but it is extremely difficult to be able to execute such strong maneuvers and make it look so easy and keep your speed.
Amazing connection for the Goofy Foots today, and Connor O'Leary is surfing out of his skin. Moving on to the quarterfinals. To number 2, let's keep the Goofy top going, Waz. Caroline Marks.
I mean, you know what? 9 nines. I mean, just this, she waited for this wave. She knew that she had to have, you know, the right pace, and she just took off and just went into this wave with pure timing and waited for it. And she didn't over surf the wave, which is you can do here, trying to like get in too many turns. She just waited for her moments to arrive and then met them and just teed off, hit the button every time, dropped out of the sky for the finish, and it was just buckets out the back on every turn. And that's what we love to see. Literally Christmas trees. I mean, every time she comes off the bottom and then hits the lip above the line, lights it up. Look at that. Just lights everywhere off the top. And it's so fun to watch in that morning light.
She missed the swell before the event. And so for Caroline, this was her first taste of real J-Bay. And she kind of knew that she hadn't been out there yet this year with waves like this.
And the timing was perfect. It really was. I mean, that's sometimes just that, ability, the DNA, that feeling and connection with a break.
Winning the post show, this man, world number 1, Filipe Toledo, 963, 793, back to business this September, officially clinching his spot in the WSL Final 5.
Well, you'd expect it. Wearing the yellow jersey, he knew that this could be a place that he could clinch that spot for the Final 5. He has done that now. He can relax slightly, knowing that he is going to be competing. But ultimately, I think that yellow jersey, he wants to keep that on as he heads into finals day or final event, because he is that good at trestles. And if he can come in fresh, you'd have to say the number 1 seed has a great advantage.
And I love how it almost felt like obvious that he'd probably clinch here. It was still really emotional when he got the official news for Filipe.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, this guy, he wears it on his sleeve. You can feel it. You can see it. You can, almost like grab it out of the air when you're next to him, when he's talking about how much he loves surfing, when he's talking about how much he loves his family, and talks about his hardships and everything he's gone through to get to those world titles. That what he did last year, and like now you can see him again. He's right there. You can taste it again. You can feel it, and you get that from him out of his interviews, and when you're standing around him, when you see him and you talk to him.
And he's got a real good pace on the panel right now, with not using too much, but getting a lot out of the scale. He's going into finals day with a lot to show.
And he's got, in that finals day, though, I will be the little optimism, is that he's got Jack Robinson. And Jack's, I think, on a bit of a heater, too. So you look at that quarterfinal, number 3, I would say that's going to be the one to watch. They're all going to be fun to watch, especially if the waves are like they were today. But I think that's a great matchup. Jack needs some points there, so he's going to give it everything he can.
Wow. What a day for pro surfing. Hope you all enjoyed that. For Strider, for Pete Mel, I'm Joe Turpel. For the rest of the crew, thank you so much for being a big part of today. And the Chrono Open J-Bay will continue tomorrow morning. We're going to try to get some heat started at 7:15 local time with the quarterfinals. Enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you might be, and we'll see you bright and early. We'll leave you with some highlights. Take care.
A lot of excitement in the surfers area. A much anticipated pulse and swell.
Easy call this morning. We're up and running.
Tyler Wright, who will avoid the elimination rounds. Betty Lou here, throwing plenty of spray. Backhand attack from Caroline Marks.
That was some fire.
Big hanger to finish.
Just this beautiful work from Ethan Ewing.
Connor O'Leary is on a heater. 9.57.
Wow, big heat.
Just relentless, really, from Ryan Callanan. Big Jordy Smith, smooth as you like.
Smith with some travel time sneaks out the low road. Jordy dropped a 9.
That's nasty. Oh, man.
Igarashi's provided a lot of magic.
Oh, fumble. And look, we've got a broken board.
Set up a tube, gets on the tail, comes out with a ton of speed. Lakey Peterson, massive hit from her. The power and control absolutely on point.
Moore.
She moves on into the quarterfinals.
Callanan right now is going to hit this hard. Bang, smacks it. Gabrielle, as he just throws all sorts of spray into the atmosphere.
Guys, I mean, this is as good as it gets. The waves are absolutely firing.
Crushing the lip there as he comes through to the inside. Oh my God, he turned it.
He's in disbelief.
Filipe Toledo slicing through these inside sections here.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.